Thank you very much.
Mr. Doggett.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Mr. Chairman, for your testimony. Just continuing along the same line of questioning Mr. Van Hollen was raising, Chairman Ryan has expressed some concern that under certain circumstances the Fed pursues a balanced approach. Do you believe that the Fed is having any difficulty in achieving the goals of both employment and price stability?
Well, I think it's evident that particularly on the unemployment side, we've like to see greater progress than we've seen. On the inflation side, I'm very cognizant of Chairman Ryan's concerns, but at least for now, we appear to be pretty close to target. I think what I would say about that is, of course, we're going to have to continue to evaluate monetary policy as the new data come in and as we see how the outlook changes and so on. But I've said before, and I think it's important to emphasize, that monetary policy can't do everything. It's not a panacea. And this body and others need to think about the troubled parts of the economy, places where improvements can be made, in the tax code or in other areas. And so, again, to answer your question, we're obviously not satisfied with where we are, and we look to, and while we will continue to do all we can to meet our dual mandate, which is what Congress has given us, we hope that that all of you and the administration and like will look for alternative ways to strengthen our economy.
And you certainly have the capacity to recommend to the Congress that it alter that mandate if you thought it was interfering with the objectives of the Fed.
I think it's been, the dual mandate has worked fine. It hasn't, we have as good an inflation record as any other central bank. I don't think it's been a major problem. So I think it's served us well. That being said, Congress created the Fed. Congress gave us our mandate. If you determine that you want to change it, we will, of course, do whatever you assign us to do.
And you, of course, determine how to implement that mandate. And you've said, with reference to price stability, a goal of about 2% is your goal. And with reference to unemployment, did I hear you say 4.5 to 6%? 5.2 to 6%?
The difference, Congressman, the difference between inflation and unemployment is that the Fed can control inflation in the long run. We cannot control unemployment in the long run. That's determined by many other factors in labor markets and other policies that we do not control. So we can't set an arbitrary target, but what we can do is try to make our best guess of where the economy, what level of unemployment the economy could sustain over a period of time. And we don't have an official number, but the 5.2 to 6% is the central tendency of the estimates provided by the members of the FOMC.
And while we would certainly be delighted to be at that range today or at the end of this year, that's still a substantial amount of unemployment, isn't it?
Certainly. We have a very high level of unemployment. We have not come remotely close to replacing the jobs that were lost in the recession. We have a very high level of long-term unemployment. I think we all agree that unemployment and underemployment and people leaving the labor force and all those things are a serious problem. I mean, we may disagree about remedies, but the problem is certainly there.